No, I play with the rookie noobs.
Alright.
We are live.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, it looks great. All right, well, so hello to everybody. Welcome to the first iteration of the Best Damn Podcast, episode 1. So we have Jason and myself, Grepo, who one of the owners of Zomblers, and we have MagFeed, our content creator, also someone that's part of the Zomblers Combat Airsoft Squad that we're trying to do some vlogging and some little episodes here and there, which we're probably going to be showing you guys somewhat soon. A little information about Zomblers from most of you guys watching right now obviously know about us, but in the future, we do esports, so we have some professional teams in Counter-Strike, Valorant, Rainbow Six, and such. We're also trying to get into the gaming side of things, just like have fun, have little community nights with our content creators and things of that sort. So yeah, we also have some of our apparel, which is at the bottom right of the screen. Also some apparel that Jason's wearing as well right now, which looks pretty good. Do you want to jump into some content, some videos of the Zcast stuff? I think that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, sure. So basically, what we're doing here is trying to. Now I'm unaware if anybody else is doing anything like this, but we're trying to basically create the first airsoft team that's sponsored by an esports organization. There is a tournament series for airsoft called Speed QB, and the local field that basically I've already become a part of, Airsoft Charleston. They run a version of that there. And what Speed QB is the tournament series for airsoft. That's kind of like, I don't know if anybody's familiar with like a 5v5, not necessarily search and destroy, but like just honestly 5v5 tournament, but really fast, and the maps are really tight. Everything is like legitimately, bodies are dropping within the first 5 seconds of the match. So like horn blows, everybody tries to get to their bunkers, and then everybody's, trying to tag each other, and bodies usually drop. It's typically the match only lasts about a minute.
From the videos I saw, it seemed pretty fucking awesome though. Is there anything that can we get a video up, Jason, by any chance, of like from his YouTube or something, or one of the first games that you played? That was pretty interesting. I thought you did.
My first game actually went just stupid nuts. Like I didn't expect it to even happen. I was playing rental. I literally just grabbed a rental M4 kit just to see what it was like before I started, looking at the other kits that were available at the store. And man, I tell you what, the first game was a control game. You had to get your color flag into the center post of Hawks, which is like this little. It's a CQB building, and I'm talking the hallways are only about as wide as this, like about that wide. I mean, you're this through the entire building, and then somebody could literally be right around the corner to shoot you, like in Rainbow Six. And you will get shot that close. You will get shot that close. But what I had done is I had seen them on the left side from our spawn, and I was like, no, y'all ain't about to do all that noise. So I swung around, and when I swung around, I took out one guy, saw the others, and then just took all of them out. Their main dude, their captain, had gone already in to swap the colors back, and then that, as I was doing all that, they screamed out like 30 seconds or 1 minute.
Team, how many of you guys, like on each side, how many are you?
That game was, I believe, it was like the first game of the day. I think it was only like 8v8 or 9v9.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. It's still decent
Yeah.
numbers though.
Oh
And is there
yeah.
any restrictions as to like what you can use when you guys are playing, or?
No, no. Um, Legitimately, the only restriction is you cannot go full auto in the buildings. And in all honesty, nobody goes full auto anyways, unless you're literally carrying an M249 uh, gunner with like a freaking 1,000 BB box sitting on the bottom, and you're just like sitting down the lane and just
Okay,
pooping out to everyone. But other than that, you anything that shoots semi and they chronograph, which is the speed of how fast the BB goes by weight of BB, and they can adjust it for you if it's not to spec, real easy.
okay, so
So
yeah, I like the footage that you had. Yeah, I don't know if Jason can get one of those videos up for somebody, but for the people to watch. I don't know if he's muted. I haven't heard him yet.
No, I
Okay.
shouldn't be muted, but
no, you're not. I
uh,
can hear you.
I say I am not that we'll say capable, at least at this point
I'm
in
not,
my
I'm not that inclined right now. All right, sounds good. We can
it,
proceed.
Episode.
We can
It's a
post
work in
my
that.
progress.
XSplit adventures that
Yeah, that sounds good. No problem.
It's a
so
work in progress. It's first episode. We're working on
yeah
it.
Yeah,
yeah
exactly.
we're getting it under control.
Mm.
Going to be a fine oiled
I
machine.
think so. What like some of our plans like in the future
Oh,
is to just
so our future plans for Zcast, I am basically working on getting team members together. My initial team captain is currently going through family stuff right now. So him and his family, which were the original slated other four to come in, they're currently busy taking care of a lot of things right now. So trying to participate in that is, I guess, is just not feasible for them right now. So no big deal. They have legitimately open spots, especially my other guy who's my team captain, who basically gave me the idea, the original idea of starting this up. So he's always going to have that spot open for him as soon as
yeah, it
he's
was definitely a good idea. As
ready to
soon as
go.
you brought it up to us, I mean, definitely it's
Yeah.
something that's different. I don't feel like any gaming organization or community in the scene has something like that. I think it's something that's unique for content, and it'll make us stand out. So I think that's pretty cool.
Well,
Um,
the other thing we're going to do with it, and I'm actually working on this right now. I was kind of waiting until we did the podcast to drop this bit of info. Currently working on a tournament format and just using Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 right now. The private match, I can do anything I pretty much want to with the settings, and I'm going to try and make a tournament style. I guess you could kind of like call it the Formula One of tournaments. Like it's just gonna be like imagine hardcore, but so hardcore like you get shot in your pinky toe with a pistol round, cross map, you're still gone.
okay.
Um, and
Damn.
it's meant to be like Speed QB, like Speedball, but in the game. And so there in modern, and matter of fact, the first Modern Warfare had a Speedball map. Uh, I don't know if y'all ever played the first Modern Warfare. There actually is a Speedball map that follows the paintball airsoft Speedball kind of
Oh, really?
feel to it. Yes, it's exact. It's got a snake and then a Dorito side and then a center 50. It's got it all. Me and a couple of buddies actually already ran paintball kind of esque, like somebody pulled out an LMG and then just spun around and then just held a lane as players ran across and they got taken out just to see if holding a lane would actually take a player out as they're running across, and it worked just like in real paintball or real speedball. And then we tested the theory of using a pistol cross map, and we had everything tuned out, and I just said, all right, poke out. He poked out, and I shot his foot where it should do the least amount of damage, and took him out immediately. Uh, so and there's no HUD. There is no information given to the player whatsoever, other than what he sees in front of him.
Oh, really? Okay.
The only the only restriction, the only thing that doesn't have a restriction is the field of view. You can adjust that to whatever you want. Uh, just because some people's eyes, my eyes hurt if I play anything lower than 120.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know why. If I tried playing at 90, my eyes hurt. Played at 80, really hurt. So that's the only other restriction. Oh, you can't use. It's just like COD League. You can't use shotguns. You can't use LM. Well, you're allowed one LMG per team. No shotguns. No. You can use all the melee you want. Pistols or AR or LM or sub are the only things that are realistically allowed.
Okay.
And it's just going to be gunfights. Focus. Oh, there's no utility for 10 seconds.
That's exactly
So
what I was about to ask. Yeah.
I can't get rid of it. Like the Call of Duty options don't allow me to get rid of utility completely. All it allows me to do is to restrict access for up to 10 seconds. And that's it after 10. But then again, I did test runs of this format on the Speedball map on Modern Warfare with some live players during another tournament we were doing, 2v2 tournament we were doing here. And the match didn't last longer than 5 minutes. And we did, I think it was 8 points. So 8 goes. So your team had to score 8 points or win 8 total matches, to win the total game between the two teams. So it was first to 8, I guess. But that did not last longer than 5 minutes. Like they went so fast. Like you want to see players rage. They will rage because they'll get like round 4 and dying off the break like that, and they can't talk after that. I'm gonna have it set to where their mic's completely dead. They have no kill feed, and they also can't. They can only see like one way. I've only figured out how to restrict it down to where they can only see one way. So when they die, it's like the camera pops up, but it's only facing one way. They can't like look around or anything.
Can't pan around or something.
Yeah,
like that.
well, yeah, you can't like move around the map or anything like that, and there's no kill feed, so you can't. And I want to try and do it to where somebody is live monitoring the players, so mutes that person from their team, like in Discords, like separate the two teams. So that person would be a live moderator, and they would mute that person once they died. So they couldn't relay any information to their team. And I mean, that's how it works in real speedball. And if you talked, it was a penalty, which would end up removing one of your friendlies. Like one of your teammates would just get pulled and be like, "You're out."
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah,
so, but that's what I'm hoping to take. That's why I was like talking to you about the whole, when I saw the tournament website, part of our website, I was like, whoa, hold on, whoa, what is this? What?
Yeah, it's another thing that we haven't talked about for a little
Like,
bit. That's going to be getting worked on this week and should be pretty much 100% functioning at that point where, it's not only going to be for tournaments, little events, community nights, game nights, whatever it is.
What they call is a game maker. Meaning that I am completely obsessed with coming up with tournament formats for pretty much any game you put in front of me. So like coming up with a tournament format for Fortnite using the private match. Like we all follow a certain set of rules and certain set of standards.
It's just one of the things that like when we had created it was just thinking the workaround around a lot of these games, especially because they have franchise esports these days. So it makes it a little more tough to do the games that we want to do. But I mean, it's not impossible, right? It's always
it's totally possible. Most games have a way
league or something,
Yeah, most games have a way to do your own private you just start up a private server and then you apply the conditions however you want. You start a custom game and you apply certain conditions to it and then you invite people to it. That's how a lot of mobile tournaments, like COD Mobile doesn't actually have official tournaments for like satellites and stuff like that. They don't have any stuff like that. They just have websites that host private matches that they invite you to, and then you follow whatever the format is on the tournament because they set those conditions up for the match. And that's it.
Yeah, you just got to find a demographic of people that would want to play in a specific tournament. One thing that I thought was fun with some of our content creators and the people that are a part of the Zombish crew is having little nights where we can do an event or a little tournament of some sort in a game where you can win a prize pool. So like as an example, in CS, we have a prop hunt server, so like everybody can go in and play some prop hunt. Maybe like the first top 3 people would get a prize or something at the end of the night.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Something of that sort. So like the game is free. It's not something that you have to be super skilled in or anything like that in the game.
It's
It's
hilarious
just
to play. I
and it's
love
something
it.
that's fun to play as well, and you
So
can win
much fun
something at
to
the end or
play.
something like that. Yeah, exactly. So it's something that could bring a good dynamic to the community, and I feel like we have all kinds of different ideas, and that's something we're gonna try to implement. But yeah,
Do it.
definitely. And if you have any other ideas or something like that, or anybody in the community does, then we're always open ears to find
I would,
some new ideas and stuff. So
what I usually like to do is I'll come up with an OG idea of something like a standard format, and then I'll like to throw it out just to a couple of my, big guys that literally play video games when they don't have anything else to do. Like they literally just play video games and work, and then that's it. I'll throw it to them and say, "Hey, play this real quick. Literally tell me how you honestly feel." Because when I tell them that, they'll either come back at me and say it's 100% trash, throw it away, or this is actually fun. It'll be one extreme or the other, but that's the feedback I like. Like, I like
yeah,
to have, yes, give it to me, give me more. Or, no,
yeah,
what were you
exactly.
thinking? What were you thinking? That's fine with me.
No, for sure.
Um,
You need honest criticism, right? You need to know if it's working, if it's not working.
yep.
And yeah, I think our community is good at that. I think they're good at being honest about what's working, what's not working. So,
I love that
you know,
community input.
yeah, we allow we like it because everybody has their own voice, right? So it's cool and um, all kinds of different walks of lives from different places all around the world, So that's another thing that's nice too. Um,
I
I want to.
oh,
What? Sorry, what?
I said I think this is the first time you and I have gone at this angle when embarking on a game or esports journey, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's true. It's been completely different. Back in the past, we always were, concentrating on the competitive side and having the best team possible. And it's bit us in the ass many times and cost us quite a few pennies. And it's nice to take that different route and just kind of do have the competitive side. We love our competitive teams. We have a new Counter-Strike team that's going to be starting an ESC Advanced season. Uh, and I think their first match is in like 2 days. We love that, but we have so much fun with the community side of things that it's like kind of opened our eyes completely to like what we were doing wrong in the past and what now we know what to do in the coming future and being a little bit more open-minded too, thinking outside the box, not being so closed-minded. And when some people come and approach us with some ideas to just listen, hear them out, and see what they have to say. And yeah, you're right. It really is something that we lacked on for a while, and now it's starting to show that we're on the right path. So I think that's pretty cool. Talking about Counter-Strike, what do you guys think of CS2 and all that?
I can't wait
Hurrah,
to play it.
Yeah.
Like I'm 1100 hours deep into CS:GO. Play it since CS 1.6, and I'm just ready to. I mean, like most people don't seem to understand. Like I played first-person shooters before shooters were even shooters, and I've watched everything evolve all the way up from the times of like Delta Force PC, because let's be perfectly honest, Doom was not I mean, Doom was a first-person shooter, but not really a first. But come on, let's be real. I don't care how much hate I stir up for that, but it's
It
all
was alright. It was a
honesty.
classic. It was
It's always a classic. Come on, let's be real.
yeah.
If it wasn't there, we wouldn't have the rest. I get it. It's foundation. You don't tear it away. But what I'm saying is, ever since the day of watching, like, playing Delta Force and having that closest just to realism type of field where you're having to, do objectives, go around to different things. And next and now it's evolved up to Call of Duty and all that jazz. And it's just seeing where it's going is like,
Man,
yeah.
it's
Well, I
been
mean,
a while since I heard anyone talk about Delta Force. That's been pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah, man.
yeah.
Delta Force Land Warrior, Delta Force 2, Black Hawk Down, Team Saber. Let's go, bro. I
Other
mean,
people have some
just
criticism about
OGs.
Counter-Strike 2 just for the fact that yes, it's a different engine. Yes, the smokes and the Molotovs
It's
are different
gonna
and
be
stuff like that.
good.
But the thing is yeah, exactly is they don't change too much and they're not too drastic about it. Like
Exactly.
we don't even want to get into like the whole Call of Duty talk and what's going on with that
No, it's
community
not
and
even gonna be.
like
It's
how could you even have an esports when you can't even have a game longer than like a year out? It's wow, it's so hard. I don't even understand
that's
how
the
some
weird
people can
part.
stay in that. How can you stay in that scene when it's so hard? Like every year you have a different game and you got to relearn everything.
I've been in
Um,
that scene since day one, dude, and I've been sitting there trying to, understand. And all you realistically need to do is just go look up the history of just look up the release dates of each Call of Duty, and you'll just be like, yeah, I miss the old times. I really do
Yeah, well, that's where
because
we come from. So that's the
that
thing is just like it's
that
crazy.
is exactly
early
where I
access
come
killed
from.
us.
I come
Yeah.
from COD 1.
Yeah,
I I
dude, when there
I
was no health regeneration in the
yes.
campaign.
Well, welcome to COD 20.
Yeah. I literally probably put close to um 3,000 hours if not more into Call of Duty 1. I lived on that game back when I was in
Yeah,
middle
it's
school and high school.
yeah, man.
Expire days.
That was
Never
that
know.
was the good times, man.
Actually what?
And then like when we watched it transition from the first through third, and then when it went to Modern Warfare, just that to see that transition of the shooter game. That right there, I think, is probably the most important transition in shooter games, and it's due to like how the style. It's like everything was realistic. Like this is how I'd actually do it in real life. Like I mean, granted, I wouldn't be a robot, but I could actually do it like that if I wanted to. Like that's the immersion. That's the word I was looking for.
Now they're starting to
Immersion.
focus so much on the competitive side of things, they completely forgot about like just having fun in the game, like having different game modes for people to just, like you could play the competitive side, but when you're winding down to have something like we're speaking about what was the last one, Cold War, where like at least they had zombies, at least they had like at least they had like 3v3 snipers or
Dude,
something, like something to wind down, gun game. You had something to like when you were bored of doing that competitive side, you could still play with your friends and do something. Now it's just competitive and that's it. So
well, you're getting well. I would have to say that it's been a lot easier to get into competitive because it's now we have a more diverse profile of organizations to join up to because we got everybody's dude. I can't even tell you like before seeing Zomblers and all that jazz. I can't tell you how many organizations I ran into that are just starting up, which is no big deal. But I'm just saying, like, we have a very diverse profile of organizations to now join
we
up
love seeing
to.
all those organizations come up. The only thing is we don't like to see it when they do things wrong, or
Exactly.
they,
That's
they,
what
they
I
give
was.
handouts
Yeah.
to people that are not supposed to, or
It's like,
things of
please.
that sort, and they stay. They come around for 2-3 months and they disappear. Sometimes they'll stick around for 6 months
Yeah.
and disappear. So that's the biggest problem with the esports scene is they don't have enough legitimacy in the scene. A lot of people that understand the business side, they understand how it
I
works.
have figured out as.
Oh, Jason looked like he wanted to say something.
Oh, sorry, Jason, hit it.
I
Sorry,
love.
buddy.
We could do a whole episode on
Oh my god.
how the esports scene is so. In my opinion, it has gone so far downhill compared to kind of when Grepo and I first started. Because it's just like you're getting all this big money. These big money investors go to these same, 5 teams maybe? So you have 5 teams that have taken over the whole esports world. And now they're starting to realize, hey, we spent more money than we should have. And investors are like, hey, um, yeah, you're not worth all this money. We're taking it away.
Valuation hit the ground.
Yep. No,
Yeah,
for sure.
and that's the thing is, as soon as I'll go ahead and say it, sports team money came into it. I feel the esports ecosystem it's on the verge of crashing, and I'm not sure how it gets fixed after it crashes, or
I
if
mean,
it
Uh,
well,
does.
we seen
I'll
the same
tell
thing.
you
We
this.
lived through it, though. You got to say
No,
we did live through
I
it because the CGS in 2008 crumbled esports, and we came back. So it
yeah,
was just that
I
if you're
mean,
not in that big franchise, you shouldn't be too bad. But it will crumble esports at a certain point.
well, look, when something gets destroyed, people just don't think that it's done. That's not how something gets better works. I mean, in order to figure out how to make the most perfect version of you, you've got to go through all of the mistakes first. You've got to get through all of the failures first. Otherwise, you're not learning anything. So what people need to do is they need to trust into that system. So if it does, if and when it does crumble, and it starts to look like it's falling out, just understand that that is a time to buy the dip and to rebuild and to redo it the way that we want to do it. Like that's the uppers are gonna look at everything down at the ground and go, things are falling apart down there. What should we do? What are they saying down there? And then they're going to look for the most informative, not the ones that are screaming at the top of their lungs. They're going to look for the ones that are speaking the most logic and the most informative opinions, and then they're going to take that feedback and hopefully try to rebuild it into something better. We've had games that have failed at this in the past. Everyone already knows the one that I'm about to reference, and it's Battlefield 2042. Don't know
Yes.
why they're still dumping money into that. I just
Well, it's
leaving it at
publishers that
that
are having
much.
problems with their games as well. Like
Well,
publishers,
no, it goes back to early access. It goes back to the whole ordeal that we're going to drop this and then we're going to fix it instead of going through our test environment, testing everything, fixing everything, and then giving you something that's amazing and already finished, and then doing a couple tiny little revisions later on like it used to be. And if until early access gets, puts down, this is what we're gonna get. And developers, I feel like, are slowly starting to understand that and slowly starting to see that due to the fact of the way that their player bases are responding. I mean, Call of Duty just went under 250K. Modern Warfare 2 did.
Mhm.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Modern Warfare 2 hit 20 mil, and we're already down. What?
Yeah, yeah.
What's going on? So.
But the problem then becomes that all these developers, there's not too many that are independent anymore. So they all have upper management. Upper management has investors they need to please. You
It's
don't
always
get
true story.
you don't get that game out on the right time,
Yep.
even if it's broken. Yeah, there's a chance. Well, we'll find someone who will.
Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
That's the best example right there.
It.
That game had so much potential. I was so ready to play that game.
The game is actually phenomenal now.
Oh my god, the game is so much fun. But then your dude starts walking, and the briefcase he was carrying gets left behind, and you're like, "What? We need that." And then you can't go forward in the mission, and then you're stuck. But I digress with Cyberpunk. But once developers start really, how history always comes back around. Once developers start understanding the old ways or the way to go, they're gonna go back, and I'm hoping they do.
As long as it's not like a Duke Nukem Forever type thing, there we're fine.
Oh my god, if they did a Duke Nukem 3D remastered, I would lose my mind.
Dude, you don't know how long I waited for Duke Nukem Forever, man. That was like
I'm
that
saying
was half
like
of my life.
And then it was just awful.
Yeah, then I wanted to cry and
yeah,
crawl into
it
my bed.
just straight up like
Yeah, like I played that, the original Duke Nukem when I was a kid and stuff, and it was amazing to me. So like, I had so much hype.
We are just gonna party. Oh
They
God, the voice.
took away my soul. It was just like, damn. But
Oh,
hey,
that game.
that's the way it is. Going back to esports and stuff like that. I mean, that's the thing that's boring is there's too many people in esports that are going into the scene that know nothing about the scene, know nothing about the games, and they just have the money, and they just flaunt the money around, and it kind of kills people like us, right? Because it takes away from people like us who are working really hard. Just we don't have that massive funding like they do.
Yeah, we don't have
Um,
the capital. That's all. I mean, this
yeah.
goes back to
So,
what's the movie? Moneyball with Brad Pitt and Jonah, when they're like talking about the whole budget difference of each of the teams that are playing, and it's always the bigger teams always get the best players. The bigger budget teams always getting the best players and stealing the best players from the lower budget teams, and then the lower budget teams just get completely screwed.
yep. So that's the thing that's just been tough is like there's this type of hierarchy in esports that you can't like you can't surpass it without having the capital to get into it.
Yep.
So I mean,
And
it's
on
pretty
yeah, it's
tough.
where sponsors can come in, but in my opinion, sponsors shouldn't be 100% doing the workload. In my opinion, like they shouldn't be what's carrying you. You should be what's carrying you. And the sponsors are just helping you get those entryways, getting your foots in the doors, that kind
It
of thing.
it should be more like how Optic started. How Hex brought Optic through YouTube essentially. Then when
Oh
it
yeah, yeah. I mean, and I mean, with different, there's different way, and that's the other thing too. That I'm gonna swing back with Grepo and what he was talking about. Or I don't know if that was you, Jason, with the different with the different mainstream games not realistically having anywhere else to go other than what they're already doing. But it's like I'm on Fortnite right now, just for example. I've got it pulled up, and because I'm trying to figure out stuff that for us to do on our Fortnite day, which this weekend, right?
yeah,
On
it's
Friday.
Yeah,
Friday. Yes.
it's Friday. Fortnite, big. Make sure to
Yep.
check it out. Um, so I'm looking up, like what can we do as far as game modes? What can we do as far as challenges are concerned? Because you got to give it substance, you got to give it some flavor, pizzazz. And that's what makes it fun. You can't just go in and play and expect it to be a good time. And I'm just looking at the different game modes that are like custom. They're not necessarily by Epic. I mean, there's the ones that Epic has that just look absolutely amazing, but they only have so many. But then you look at these other ones that are custom done. Uh, like this one, right? Like almost all the Epic ones have like 200 to 600. Like Deserted Domination has 856. But then you look down to the most engaging ones, and there's like Duo Escape Run, which looks absolutely fun as hell. But it says 3.59K. And I'm like, yeah, that looks absolutely good. But that's custom. That's not by
Yeah.
Epic. So I feel if games do that more, but with the developer doing it, like instead of them sticking to just A, B, C, D, we start getting Z and just whip that out and see what happens. I mean, and they would be pretty surprised at the response. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves right here.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, that once goes back to business as usual. Because
Yep.
as soon as they release that first game, 3/4 of that team that made that game are moving on to the next game. You're gonna have a ghost squad essentially taking over, maintaining that game for the rest of its
Yeah.
life cycle.
The only thing that's really good about Counter Strike and their competitive scene is with the skins and the money that they make from their skins, they reinvest that money into tournaments, um, into the leagues and stuff like that, which is one thing that's really smart to do.
I say
Well, the
Dota
other
2 does a pretty good job on that too.
Oh yeah.
The other thing is that right there, what you just mentioned, the simple fact of the matter that they have made a real money currency system, based off of digital items within their game, but like people are making money off of that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
if I feel like if games started giving players way more utility like
The
that.
betting when Counter-Strike came out was pretty cool, but the thing is, it went out of hand real fast. And the thing is a
It
lot of the
did.
gamers are underage, so it just made it, I think, real complicated. That's why they removed
Yeah,
it from their
ethics.
platforms
I say,
and
and then-
stuff.
Ethics.
Valve had to step in because they were starting to get lawsuited because
Oh, yeah?
these kids are spending all this money in gambling when yeah, you're a 13-year-old kid. You're not allowed to gamble. That's against the law.
Gamble? Like, how is this happening? How is this not
Yeah.
regulated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why now I think Valve only allows very certain companies to do it.
Yeah.
Those companies all have to implement age
Regulations,
restrictions and yeah.
And also location restrictions as well.
Well, they all go out of that place over in the Netherlands where
Oh.
you get all the tax breaks and stuff for being a gambling company. I can't remember.
Right, but
off
I'm
the top
saying,
of my
like,
head.
as far as different states, like right now, I can't access daily fantasy sports in my state.
I'm in
it's-
Canada, so I don't want to talk about
it's
the list of
banned.
things I can't access.
Oh my God, I don't even, I can't even imagine. I've heard stories of stuff that's been banned up there. It's kind of
Especially
crazy.
in Quebec as well, where I live specifically. It's very, very strict. So.
Yeah, you guys can't even talk in English, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a law where when you're working, if you
Wait.
speak English, then you can get in trouble.
What
Yeah.
what would they do?
Well, they fine you. Especially I work for the government as well, so they fine you if anything.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I did not know that, y'all. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine some, like, I could see, like, actually, you know what? I could imagine some, like,
Well, we have
famous
a 101
YouTuber.
law here as well, where all the stores have to be in French. So like even if it's an American store, it has to be changed to French and stuff, which it makes the best fucking names you've ever seen. But
Oh, dude. Because French, yeah. Because my sister spoke French, and she taught me a lot of words that were, I can't remember anymore. It was a long time ago, like a decade ago, when I last spoke one. But she would tell me, she's like, "Dude, there's a lot of words that are translated from English or French that are just like, yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't say the French word in America for that. It's just no." Oh my God.
But we get a lot of Americans here. I mean, a lot. So it's just the only thing is if you're working specifically, you
Dude,
can.
I wonder how much money y'all make in Vines.
Oh, probably quite a bit.
What? I didn't know.
No English. It's like Jesus.
And they just keep talking more English in a panic because that's all they know.
I'm so
The
sorry.
mind file. It's like, I don't know any French.
Well, there's
Only
quite a lot of
thing-
people that don't know French as well.
Only thing I know is wee wee.
Write them fast enough.
And we it stands for something else. It's not.
Oh,
It's not hello.
Jesus. This is what I was talking about.
That's jokes.
What are we doing?
I don't even know what we're talking about
I have
anymore.
run out of paper because of you. No, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
I'm not sure where we went with that, but that was pretty good.
I love it. That's what I do, y'all. That's what I
But
do.
we talking about like Quebec and stuff like that. We do have a pretty big LAN that's coming up in May, and it's a really good environment over there. There's usually about like 2,000 gamers that show up with their PCs and stuff, and
That's a LAN party.
yeah, that's a LAN.
That is a LAN party.
It's called LAN
go.
ETS here in Montreal.
Man,
it's really awesome.
Look up if you ever get a chance, Google Counter-Strike 1.6 LAN parties. Just the images you'll see.
Yeah, I was definitely in a few of those.
Insane. There's a famous picture of, I don't know if everyone still knows it or not. There's the famous picture of the kid that got duct tape to a AC duct, and he's playing. Like, he's laying down like if he was laying on his belly, so his head's like, up here and his feet are back here and his face forward, and computer is raised up on a wood platform, and he's cathode radion tube monitor, keyboard and mouse, and he's playing at the LAN party like
Yeah,
that.
well, the
They
thing is,
duct tape
they didn't have enough chairs,
to
bro.
it.
I mean, you got to
Bro,
improvise.
no, that was punishment. I'm terribly sorry.
You
That was
gotta
not
do
meant
what
for
you gotta do,
convenience.
man. You
That was
gotta-
not meant
Imagine how
convenient.
bad your neck hurts after that.
There was no space in that place for anything. Like, as soon as you sat down and started playing, you're not moving. There's people with pillows.
Dude, those were the good days of gaming, man.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But like, it's the most hilarious.
Oh, I've
picture
had
I
some
have
LAN parties we were playing
ever
together, and we were
seen.
like elbow to elbow playing almost. It was like, and after that, you have like 5 PCs in a room. Oh my god, like it gets so hot.
You have
have
to
some
air
kind of-
out, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Do you actually know the biggest thing I miss about old school gaming? I miss the waiting in line at GameStop at midnight.
that release
Oh
parties.
yeah.
Release parties.
And getting your pre-order in, because if you didn't get to go to the release party because you didn't have a pre. You didn't. They ran out of pre-orders. You
and
didn't
then
get
you
one.
didn't get the actual like worth it pre-order stuff.
Yeah, and you don't go to the release party because you didn't want to look like a kook, because you didn't want to show up and everybody's got one and be like, look at it. You're just like, why am I here?
remember, man, Call of Duty days. I took the day off work.
Modern Warfare 2.
I was in line at 8 a.m. hanging out in a lawn chair in front of
Bro,
GameStop. That was
when
it.
Electronics Boutique was here before GameStop, there was a place called EB.
Yeah, EB Games.
Actually, no, there was one before that called Babbage's. It was first called Babbage's, and then it was called EB. I think it was called something before that. I can't remember. Which is Electronics Boutique, which had like the red E / and then a B, which is really cool. And then it started becoming the GameStop and all that. But man, I tell you what, there was people camping out in the mall. Like,
No way.
dead serious, yeah, because they had to leave the mall open, like some of the main doors open, for security, so they could just walk through and everything. And for these release parties, they would do the special thing of unlocking that section for patrons to go in and out, because they knew it was going to be at midnight. Everybody would be camping out, bro. Everybody would be sitting there. People would be there at like 8 in the morning to wait to go all the way around to midnight. They'd set up their tents, everything.
Those were the days.
Yeah, those were days. Now everything's digital.
Yeah, you don't even get like a copy of something anymore or anything like that. It was funny. It was I don't know why I got a brain fart, but the other day I was like, I found an old CD and I was like, oh, no way. I don't remember, it was Empire Earth or something, some strategy game. And I was like, can't wait. I should play this. I'm going to put it in my CD-ROM. I'm like, oh, wait.
My
My computer got a
those.
CD-ROM? What are you talking about? It's just like, I thought I was like in 2007 or something. I was so
CD-ROMs, dude. No, I think my favorite nostalgic part of that would have to be the triple blue disc set of Final Fantasy VII, which I still have, by the way.
Oh my goodness!
I just have like all my original like World of Warcraft cases and stuff. I don't know. I was a wild nerd back in the day.
I got about 4 copies of Warcraft 3, the Battle Chest.
Oh.
I got about 5 or 6 copies of Call of Duty 1 still floating around.
Oh, I have the Diablo 1 and 2 though. I even have like a book from Diablo, the Lords of Destruction, I think it's called, or something like that. That was pretty cool.
Man,
It was very
dude,
nice back then. It was awesome. You had like
Diablo 2.
books and you had all kinds of stuff to look at. Like, not the same.
Yeah, Diablo 2 is my jam.
We were looking around the house and we found 3 of the 4 old floppy disks of the original Oregon Trail.
Oh my god, a floppy disk. This guy's going ancient. Damn.
I got
That's
most of
OG,
those too,
man.
Aaron. Just so you know.
I wonder if anybody
Disk,
knows
green
in
computer.
chat what a floppy disk is.
I know, right? Aaron
What's up?
Aaron
just,
probably. Aaron probably.
0.25.
Because
Because
Aaron was
there's
just
2.
saying he was talking about backyard sports. I have a bunch of those as well.
No, the real question is not what is a floppy disk. The real question is, how many kinds of floppy disks are there?
Oh jeez, I don't even know that.
There's 2. It's a trick question because there's only two, and it's 3.25 and 5.25.
Yeah, there's a bigger size and then a smaller size.
Yeah, and the only difference is the 5.25s are actually the floppies, which you sit there and flop, 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 flop. And then 3.25s are literally hard pieces of plastic that you can use as ninja stars for defense. I'm not kidding. You can take one of them and chunk it, and yeah,
as a floppy disk.
It would do damage.
They don't actually know the actual 5.25 floppy disks. For the
That's what I'm
part.
saying.
Yeah.
If I say, do you know what's a 5.25 inch disc? They're gonna be like,
what was the size of like whatever was on it? It was, I think it was barely anything. Like,
it was
like memory wise,
1.44 megabytes.
Yep.
That was the 3.25 inch, the little plastic ones with the little metal clip that slid back and forth. Was 1.44 megabytes. The 5.25s, I believe, were like 725 kilobytes. I can't remember.
Yep.
Something like that. Yeah, I was raised around this crap, man. I literally was born and put in front of a 386, 486 computers. Yeah, Dad was software programmer. Love it.
Oh, that would do it.
Yeah. Do you remember when they first came out, the first gigabyte hard drive, platter hard drive? It was about $5,000.
Jesus, no, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I'm dead. The only people that could actually afford having a personal home computer were the people that worked on them. Like nobody had a computer at the house.
I was chilling with that 56K, you know, that trying to load an image.
What are you talking about? 56K. 56K wasn't even out yet, dude. We had 28.8.
Oh my god! What were you doing with? You gotta wait 2 days to like load an image.
Yes. But dude, you gotta realize,
naked lady. You're like, oh, I see half the boob.
Just kidding.
I'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah, really. The proportion of file size was way smaller. So like a picture was only like 20 kilobytes. So 28.8 kilobytes a second. You're getting that image pretty quick. And that's what I'm saying, but it's like that was like 240p quality. So
that's good stuff.
That's great. Go try to look at, dude. I'm serious. Go try to look at a 240p image right now. I can guarantee you your eyes are barely going to be able to make it out. But you got to think back during when those pictures first came out in 240p, when 240p just came out. What?
I wrote 240p image and damn.
We found that acceptable. We found that to be the coolest thing ever. Like, wait, what?
We got an image on the freaking computer.
Yeah. Well, because we were like, dude, this is a deal. I just took this picture. Now it's on my computer. I can see it.
You know how many games I played when I was a kid and I replayed it like recently and I'm like, oh my god, I actually like in my head I had like images of it being way better than it was, and then I see it, I'm like, wow.
That's the thing.
I think
I had a GameCube. I will tell you, none of those games last. They all look atrocious.
They're so bad. Oh man.
GameCube, I love the Sonic games on there.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna do. Speaking of it, I'm gonna do a video. This is one of my content ideas. I was thinking about doing it, and I'm actually think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do single player Delta Force, the first one, because I can get it on Steam, and I remember how to put it. There was a file within the file folder that if you right clicked it, changed it to a text file, there was a little code you could put in, changing it, I think it was like a 0 to a 1 or whatever, or you typed it in, I can't remember, and it gave you the 1024 by 768 resolution. Otherwise, you could only play it by 800 by 600. So it's like, come on, 800 by 600. Space in your face. So no, the 1024, it looks clearer, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But I want to play it now and do a video with it just so y'all guys can see that.
I haven't looked at an image of Delta Force in forever. I'm just curious.
It's like this was prime. And the AI is actually not bad, dude. I tell you what, you put it on like the hardest difficulty, there's gonna be a lot of time. It's gonna be like Dark Souls. There's a lot of times where you're
Oh
just gonna
man.
show up. You're gonna be within their their line of sight, and they put like 3 rounds on you perfectly, and you're gone.
This is
You're
available
like,
on Steam. Oh my god.
it's like $4. That dude, you should have seen the box that thing came in. It like remember old school boxes, man? They were like the size of Bibles, like
Oh
like
God, I
legit,
love
like
it.
they were boxes. Like you got so much stuff. It was cool.
Hey,
But yeah, I'm gonna do
you
that
know,
now. I'm gonna do that now.
you don't get anything cool like that anymore.
No.
Or if you do, you're paying like
It,
$250 for it.
yeah. You're getting you're having to pay like way extra,
Yeah.
and it's still like not that high quality.
Yeah.
It's just one of a kind.
One
But a
of
lot
a
of the times,
kind.
they had these stores that want to bring people into the store to get some, other commodities or accessories or whatever for the game, and then they would buy other things at the same time. It was kind of like a whole meetup type thing, and now it's kind of gone. It's just all digital, so and people don't really care for those things as much these days. I feel like I think we were a different generation as well.
That's very
Oh
true.
yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
I got like my Diablo book. I looked through it and I read every like
Ah,
inch of it and
dude.
stuff. And
I wish I still had
I was like
mine.
studying the
Like
characters and stuff. I
those
was like, oh,
things. Like just sitting there. It's like
I
you're
popped
sitting
some
there on
random
the
packs out
couch.
of
Your
nowhere.
parents are like looking down at you, be like, "What are you reading right now?" You're like, "Oh, this is just my Diablo 2 creature set book. I'm trying to learn of all the creatures, so when I go out into my cave dungeons on level 2 and my and you just start hitting them with the truth, and they're like, "I have a demon for a son." Oh no, I'm actually a paladin.
But now it's a lot of like building and stuff like that. Like the Minecraft you showed me the other day on the Switch. That's impressive. All that.
Oh my
All that.
god, dude. My kid, like I'm just looking at I literally looked he showed me more stuff after that and I was looking at it, I was like, dude, how do you do this in the amount of time that you get to play on it? It's only been so long.
Yeah, the creativity is like at another level. I
Just
mean,
gone. Like, dude, I couldn't come close to doing any of that. And he's still going at it.
Hey, more power to
He's
him, man.
literally in the game. Oh, that's what he just said.
Oh boy. Well, we
what
went
else?
off on a way big tangent,
Oh,
didn't
come on.
we?
Yeah,
That's
That was
podcast,
pretty
bro.
good, though.
That's
yeah,
podcast. That's how we do it.
Let's say we've
I
hit
like it.
the hour mark, boys.
yeah. All right, so
I think we're gonna go ahead and
put
everyone
it
give
down.
your say your sign offs.
All right, well, my name's Grepo, and I'm signing off. So it was nice. It was a good podcast, though. I really liked it. I mean, not the exact topics that we had in in the list, but I mean, hey, we're gonna have to get used to it and see what maybe a little bit beforehand talk about little topics we want to get into and stuff. But hey, I think this went pretty smoothly.
Yep.
All right, well, yeah, I'm gonna keep looking through these custom modes for Fortnite and probably test a couple of them and make a list for us for this weekend.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
So yeah, everybody,
me,
don't forget to tune in
signing
Friday, Fortnite. Let's get it
All
on
right,
the
y'all.
Zomblers Twitch.
Signing off.
Boy.